Hi everyone, it's Jenny. Welcome to my channel. I've come on. I had already started making this card, and then I thought, oh gosh, why aren't I videoing it? Because I'm making a mail card. It's a 90th birthday card, and sometimes, we're it making a mail card is probably one of the hardest I find. So I thought, oh gosh, I'm halfway through making it, and we're having to come on. So I'm using my John Next Door kit, which has got the stamps and the clock, and I'll show you what I've done already. It is nearly finished. So I got a piece of cardstock. I've done quite a few stamp outs because I was trying to work out which way round. So basically I've got an 8x6 card, and I've layered some cardstock down on the bottom, and this paper I got from, I didn't use all of the paper with the John Next Door kit. I got this bottom paper from this Art Studio designer paper. So I've layered that on the bottom. I then got some gold cardstock and layered that. I've then got some white cardstock, and I stamped out on my stamping platform, because you can see a slight line there, but I'm going to hide that with this stamp here. And that's where I've got to. I'd already cut out the outside piece of this, and I did it in two. I did it in white and I did it in this cardstock, and I actually preferred the white. So I've mounted the white onto some gold cardstock, and then I cut out the clock, and I've put that just at an angle. So my thought is, because of that line there, I don't want that showing. So I'm going to probably put this somewhere around there, but I was going to put it up on some foam. Now I've got stuff absolutely everywhere. Believe me when I say, look, I've got stuff everywhere. And you know what it's like. You're making a card and you get absolutely everything out. I mean, why do we do that? Why is that necessary? So I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard, my trusty cardboard that I like to use, and cut a piece out. I've cut the, what do you call them? Oh my gosh, the watch face. But I cut it out 3 times, and I've layered it on top of each other so that it's, I cut out 3 lots so that it's a bit thicker and it stands up from the card a bit more. Now I'm hoping, I think this is going to be hand delivered, so it doesn't matter that I'm going to rise it up a little bit, because yeah, it's going to be hand delivered. So I'm using quite thick cardboard here. I need to cut that down a little bit because I don't want the cardboard showing. I could go a tiny little bit thinner. I mean, it is quite thick anyway because I've used this gold cardstock. I'm just going to take a tiny bit more off. It doesn't have to be straight. But I thought, oh, Jenny, what are you doing? Why aren't you coming on with this video? Because mail cards are always a thing for me. I always struggle with them. And I don't know why. I suppose because we do so many sort of flowery cards, and you know, me especially with my pink. There, that is quite thick, but I'm quite happy to raise it that much off the floor. And then I've got, right, where's the time? The clock there, 1:12. So that is going to be quite thick, but I don't mind. And then what I've done, I've got some books as well, because he likes books, or he's worked with books previously. I've also got a piece of that time flies when you're having fun, and I've vintage distressed it with my vintage photo, and I've gone round and I've put one of my Clarity happy birthday stamps, which I'm loving at the moment, along there, and I'm thinking that that's probably going to go there. But let me just see. I have cut that exactly right, but I'm just seeing where I'm going to put this. I want it to cover that halfway mark, which is there, but I'm also thinking that I'd like to put one of these vintage books on here. but I don't know whether to go there, bring that up. I think it'd be too squashed down here. I'm thinking it looked nice there. I've got quite a few different ones, but I do like that one and I do like that one. But I'm thinking that one's my favourite. So I'm thinking I might do that. And then I could put a 90th or something. Yeah, we'll do that. So if I glue this down first, let's just get some glue on here. Pop this down first. It's clogging up a little bit, but let's just get quite a lot on here because I want this to adhere quite nicely. And let's work out the time. So it's going to be there. And that's roughly where it's got to go. About there. I need to come over a little bit because I don't want it to encroach on the... Now, let me just hold that up and check. Well, I've got a little bit of movement. There we go. Right, and then we've got... I don't know what time to put it at yet. I'm going to ask the person that I'm making it for, first of all, before I finish it, is there a specific time? Now, I didn't think about that, did I? Because I'm going to have to put something under there because I've raised it right up, haven't I? So that will stick on there like that. It doesn't matter that that's up. So I'm going to leave it like that for now because I'm not going to stick down the time. I'm not going to raise this up. I'm just going to have that about there, I think. So let's stick this down. And it's not too high, so I haven't raised the other bits up. So we can stick that down. And I think this one, John Next Door, I think this was the one. Do I want it there? Or do I want it there? I want it there, I think. I think this was the one that Lisa was in, this book. So I'm the Crafting Diva. So I'm going to tag her just so she can see. I'm sure she was in this book. Let me just quickly have a look. Oh, Lisa. I'm really sure she was. I thought I remember her being in this one. Maybe I'm mistaken. I'm getting her mixed up with the others. Oh no, there she is. That's our Lisa. So she made these ones. These beautiful ones. So yeah, she was in that one. So I am going to tag her just to say I've made that. Now, I don't know why that's sticking up slightly. So we've then got that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my vintage photo out and I'm going to go around the white because I think when that sticker, it's not a see-through one. And when it comes off, in fact, let's just get a piece of scrap paper. Where's a bit of scrap? I need a little bit of scrap. There. Let's just pop that on there. I just want to get rid of that white edge because it's, I mean, it would be all right because we've got white on the card, but I don't want it on the sticker. So I'm just going to pop that in there. Put the lid back on that. Oh, you can probably see my Kit Kat and my cup of coffee there. Naughty, naughty. Right. And then let's see if this comes there. It does. I'm just thinking. I'm just going to hold it up a bit because I want to see where it goes. And then my clock face is going to come off, isn't it? There. There we go. I like that. And then it is a 90th birthday. Now, would you believe I went through my numbers and it stops at 80. 80th. So I'm going to have to make a 90. And I was thinking I could put a 90th happy birthday here. So which numbers shall I use? I think I'll use those ones. So let's get a 9 out. And a 0. and then we can have a TH off here. Not quite the same font, but I'm hoping it'll be all right. How do we think that looks? 90th. I'm wondering if I should put another 90 up the top there. Maybe I should. I've got plenty of them. I've got plenty of them. Just up there. Oh, I've been sitting in my chair a little while and my back is hurting now, I must say. There we go, and we'll have another TH. Let's get a bit out of the H there. There we go. 90th, and we've got happy birthday. As I say, that is going to go on at whatever time the person I'm making it for gives me a time, because I'd like to, you know, if there's a time. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp inside the card. Now I'm just seeing if I've had any little bits left of that paper, but I don't think I've got anything substantial. These are all just pieces. Oh, there's one piece. I'm just thinking, dangerous to do that, isn't it? I'm just thinking if I would like to put a piece of this along there. Now it has got a ragged edge, so I don't mind that torn sort of look. We could go along there and just match the paper. Yeah. Oh no, that's not quite straight there, is it? Have I got any more of that paper left? Let me just check. Let me just check, because otherwise, no, that won't work. Did I have a piece? Ah, here we go. What's that? These are bits I did. That's not going to be long enough, is it? Just thinking if I put a book down the bottom, that's not going to be long enough. Oh, I know what I'm thinking, but did I have a little bit of gold left, maybe? It's not going to be good enough. Could have that on a piece of gold in the corner, because that is going to show, unless I do it like that. Yeah, that'd be all right. That'd be all right. So I don't think I'm going to do another long piece like that. Oh, no, that's different. Right, let me do what I was going to do. Let's just not do that end. I know it's only a tiny slither, but I just sometimes think that having this little bit inside just makes all the difference. So, let me just get this. I want to get it straight before it goes on. There we go. Just wipe that bit. Where's my little wet wipe? A little bit of glue there. Yeah, that'll be fine, because even though that little bit on the end, chop that piece off. Oh dear, I am fingers and thumbs today. Chop that little piece off there, and then actually if I just have the little book. Now this is where I wish we had voice on here, because do you think it looks better on there, or do you think it looks better on its own? I'm going to go on its own, but I'm going to do what I did with the other bit. I'm just going to go around the edges with the vintage photo, get rid of those harsh white marks. And then the only thing left to do is the stamp in the middle. Am I going to risk it for a biscuit and go straight in? Where's it gone? It's gone. I like that. Right, we've got a happy birthday to go in the middle. I hope my picture's in the right way. Just thinking, gosh, shall I risk it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Be brave. Be brave, Jenny. Be brave. Right, let's get that straight on there. Yeah, okay, we're going to go for it, people. I'm going to do it. What's the worst that can happen? It goes wrong and then I have to cover it up. But I'm hoping these clarity stamps are very good. They haven't let me down before. Let me just make sure I've got that in the middle. It's down now. They haven't let me down before. I'm just going to hold it a second and just let it soak in. Please don't smudge and please come out. Yes, there we go. Beautiful. It was worth the risk, wasn't it? I do love these. Right, get that off. Whoops. Right, so there we go. I'm going to leave that open a little bit. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's going to look better once the actual time is on. Oh, like so. So just imagine that that's on. And there we go. Time flies when you're having fun. Happy 90th birthday. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching. Let me know what you think. I just thought I would come on because it's helpful sometimes to do a male card. I had also got this little book cut out, but I haven't put that on. So anyway, that is the card. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, everyone. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you have watched, hit the like button. Take care, crafty hugs, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.